Yo guys, what's up? It's Keacher's Game 2 here, and I just wanted to show you guys an awesome little tutorial, you could call it, of the aberration zone in the new map Valguero. Now I'm going to show you where all the important resources are so you can get started. There are no flyers here, so there's a lot of stuff that you'll have to do with Ravagers, which I really encourage you to do. You get some zip lines, and those guys can pretty much go anywhere. Anyways, a lot of people are talking about being unable to find blue gems, which gives you the crab saddles, all that stuff. This is an unradiated area. If you look over next to, there's the green circle and red circle. There's the green one right there. There's the red one. You can actually jump from a Ravager on either side here. I'll mark the chords for you. So the chords of 26.2, 79.9, and there is a ton of blue gems right here. Obviously, you can see them. So let's go ahead and start there. I'll show you where the blue gems are, obviously right here. Green gems are all over the place. So that's something you really don't, I guess, it's not of an urgency to locate them because you just stumble across them no matter where you go. The best and easiest way to tame crabs, so you don't have to go down to the danger zone, obviously you can see right here there's a Spino running around. This is the point for that. 26.3, 76.1, and basically with that you get a whole bunch of crabs and Spinos that spawn right here, and it's super safe for you so you don't have to worry about that kind of stuff. That's a good spot for crabs, Spinos too if you're looking for them. That's up to you though, obviously. So obviously you can look around, but here's a great spawn for metal. And actually, if you're an alpha tribe or someone with a lot of members, this spot right here is OP, because if you keep climbing up the middle, kind of like this little tree of life thing you got going on here, on the topmost level of it, obviously I did the video where there's the flyers and no flyers here, there is a huge area with tons of metal. Like, metal is all over the place if you do a circle around this thing. And you could just get a crab, some I guess carquinhos is what they're called. And you just do circles around this and you can get thousands upon thousands of metal. Now, a lot of people, the only thing, and a lot of people are going to say this right away, you know, where's the cementing paste? Honestly, it's easier down here because there are enough carquinhos to actually just kill the carquinhos and use their cementing paste. I guess make cementing paste from them, because each one of these guys gives you a couple hundred, and on the 2 times multiplier on the weekends, you can get a couple thousand from each one of these. And this is like a little crab river again. A little more dangerous though, but it's also the spot where you tame anglerfish, beazle bufo, all swamp creatures spawn down here. You can kind of see that one right there. Chords of this area in the little area, 33.8, 71.0. So that's that. I usually build a trap over on this end right here next to this waterfall, so that way you're backed up against something, and there's a ton of crabs spawning right here, so you're good to go. Sarcos too. Literally everything you need's down here, which is awesome. Obviously you can see there's tons of resources. You got fungal wood, some more metal spawns, trees all over the place. You got stone for everything you need there. I usually just get a Anki in order to get thatch, because obviously you can't have a dragon down here to get that maximum thatch. But if you take your carquinhos with an Anki and just start swinging, you can come back with quite a few thousand different types of thatch. And different types, I mean just stacks on stacks of thatch. Once you are a little more advanced, this is the location into the rock drake zone. I have a video about this of me exploring the entire way down there. Now, here's the weird thing. So obviously there's all kinds of spawns down there, but because you don't need a light pet, because there's no Reaper Kings or anything like that, nothing but crabs aggro to you. And every single rock you see down there is metal. This is the OP metal spawn in the game. Because just like aberration, you can have infinite. Put an indie forge right here, walk on down with a crab, come back up, and just do endless runs, because this area down here is huge. Now I'll mark the entrance for you. 36.0, 64.4. Now, a lot of people are saying, you know, there's no rock drakes, there's no anything down here. However, I explored this entire area. There are nests, but there are no eggs or actual, like, the fiber you see in the nests down there. So it's actually just there. So maybe in a future update, they'll give it to us. I think what's going to happen, this is my thought process, they're going to give it to us for this update when they open up all the servers, because then you're going to be able to bring rock drakes and all that stuff over anyways. And why would you have a zone down here that's irradiated without the important stuff that's, I guess, you need to get in the irradiated zone? Now, There's tons of metal down here. I'm not going to go down because God mode doesn't protect you from this down here. But every single rock you see is metal. Also, those pink crystals you can kind of see in the distance, those give you red gems and blue gems. It's super easy to grab them. Now, obviously, if you don't know this trick, I'll teach you a little quick one. If you get bit by a lamprey, they'll hold on to you for 600 seconds. If you go down the swamp that I just showed you, run back up here and you can hit those crystals pretty easily and safely. In order to just get the red gems and blue gems, you need to farm a rad suit, technically is what it's called, or hazard suit. Anyways, I'll show you a couple more awesome little things down here. Now, if you haven't seen it already, you should totally check out my flying bases. Down in this zone, a lot of awesome bases exist. Now, go ahead and fly up there real quick so you can actually see. But in this area, and sort of near the entrance too, so you could block it off pretty well. What you're going to end up doing is I'll tag them for you right now. 30.0, 65.3 is the region of all these floating bases. And you'll see literally metal, green gems, everything you need. These are all oil rocks. I forgot to mention that. If you go directly beneath my point, the ground is absolutely littered with oil rocks. So you don't even need an oil rig. You don't need anything. You can literally just pump out oil rocks using that. With 29.2, 65.4 is the same thing that we're on right now. But as you can see, these base locations that I've been pointing out like nonstop because I hope some people learn to build up here, there's no way up. It is literally floating in the air. You can see another one down there. A little bit smaller, but this is a great alpha zone. You don't think about it, but this is actually a really big area. And if you wanted to take over more than one down there, like I said, there's 2. You got 3 right here, and they just stick out of the wall. Now, these are great defensive things because up until the server's release, nobody's getting to you if you have a couple of turrets. Here's the 4th one. Up above this one, if you look up there, there's actually a super sneaky spot. And I'll show you it right now. But you can actually go 1 layer up. This is going to be an OP raid spot right here because you can just leave stuff here if you want to troll the server and just drop down and into things. No one's going to find you up here because there's no way to get up here except for Ravagers and some zip lines, which I strongly encourage you to have. Now, it's also a really cool view. I'd like to mention that fact. But anyways, this is a super sweet spot. I'll show you the cords to get into this thing. But what I would really encourage you to do is just try building down here. It is a blast. You've got the sap you need from the Redwoods because those are down here as well. Drops spawn endlessly. Now, there are no red drops. I've seen yellows down here, but there are endless supply drops all over the place in this area. Now, there are base locations literally everywhere. You've got crystal access. You don't even need to go to the surface. A lot of people are going to be like, yo, you can't have flyers down here. You can have flyers down here. They just cannot fly. You have to actually have them follow you. Now, they'll fly if you're not on them, but you cannot be riding them, basically, is what it comes down to. Now, here's another cool thing. I just told you about this. There are drop spawns everywhere down here. I've gotten anything from roll rat saddles that are Mastercraft from blues. It kind of depends on what what's happening that point in time in order to get it. Now, I'll show you one more cool thing that I've slowly been discovering about this spot. I love it down here. On my official server, I am playing down in this zone, so if you ever run into me, it's not that hard to find me, actually. Me and I only have one other tribe mate. But anyways, we're down in this zone. You'll be able to see me pretty easily if you want to. However, this place is massive. And I have been exploring more and more and more, and I found this little secret. So I showed you the spot where the rad zone is right over there. That's how you get down to the rock drake area. However, if you take this little pathway right here, I'll show you the chords. 37.0, 67.6. Now, this pathway, you can easily make it on foot. Obviously, there's raptors and stuff. You want to be careful about them. However, if you continue to follow this thing down and just keep going and going and going and going, well, I guess I'll show you this spot too. If you go up here, this is also another OP base spot. A little bit of a secret little area, I guess if you want to call it that. Right next to the rad zone. If you ended up building here, you could have an endless supply of turrets, everything you need. This is more of an alpha spot, though, because it's huge, as you can see. So I would not encourage a small tribe to build it here. Now, here's the fancy part. I'll show you behind this tree real quick. 42.3, 70.7. And basically, you can just go up behind this tree, and you have free safety. And check this out. So you can go back up in here, and what's somebody going to raid you with in here? Literally nothing. There's nothing they can get you with back in here. You can just keep going up and in. It's not a huge spot, but this would be a great little base to have your stuff that you need that's important, I guess, to have. And it's a great spot because you can build back in here and everything. It's insane. And obviously that goes down. I've never actually been down in there, so I'm kind of curious, but I'm not doing that because, you know, why would I do that and get stuck? Not happening. Maybe I'll do that at the end of the video so we can see what happens. But anyways, this is a cool little spot. I'll tag it for you. 43.1, 70.4. It's an awesome spot. But anyways, all that being said, it's actually shockingly bigger than you think it is, and you can build up too. I'll show you. You can keep flying up. This tree just exists all in. It's a huge base spot. Again, I would really encourage you to be a larger tribe if you're going to do this spot because it's enormous. It's a gigantic spot. All right, now let's keep exploring, and I'll show you what I'm talking about with some of this other stuff that's unusual back in here. So this right here might be one of my favorite base spots. Now, you have to be an alpha. This is a massive place. It is a giant metal structure with sheer cliffs for walls, just absolutely straight down, and it's a monster of a spot. So, first off, let me show you why I like this spot. You've got this entire flat platform. Flat is huge for alphas because, you know, it's hard to raid flat when you have a bunch of turrets and everything backed up. Now, this is why, though. Here's your bridge. This is the only access point. I guess you could technically climb up the walls, but a couple of turrets there solves that issue. This is the only ground access point, which is nuts. This is a crazy spot. Crazy good. 47.3, 73.5. It's nuts. I love this spot. And obviously, you can go up here. This is a good little spot, too. You got a bunch of crystals spawning all over the place. There are endless supplies down in this zone. I can't even explain it enough. You don't have to worry about trolls either, because trolls like using birds. They really do. And when you can't use birds for trolls, they kind of get bored and they're just like, it's just pass, you know, whatever. I don't feel like it. However, this spot, there's a ramp here. I didn't even notice this, but this is cool. Got a little tree down there. And wow, I didn't even think about going back here. Let's see what's back here. This might be the end of the actual zone down here, which is super cool as well because you got a lake. Now, in this lake, I would assume, just like every other area down here, you've got your spawns for anglerfish, everything you need. This might actually be an access point to the underground. Oh, there's carquinios and stuff spawning in here. I would assume this is actually a good access point for. Oh yeah, this is anglerfish, lamprey. This is the underground ocean down in here. Oh man, look at this oil. This is sweet. Wow, I'm gonna go ahead and enter God mode real quick so I don't, you know, die. Anyways, that being said, oh boy, it goes deeper. Holy smokes, there's carquinios, and it's a secret access point. Uh-oh, look what I found. Yep, this is how you get in. This is the invincible area. Woo-hoo-hoo. Sweet. That is cool. Now, I'm probably going to die down here because apparently God mode doesn't prevent you from drowning, so that's nice. Let me hit pause and I'll put on a scuba suit. Anyways, obviously, guys, this is a super cool location. It's one of those areas that you can kind of do whatever you want and just survive, which is really kind of cool. Now, that being said, I think it's important to realize that there are obviously things that could go wrong here, like this. But now I've got air, so we're good. Uh-oh. Rock Drake, where are you going? Okay. Death by eel. But anyways, now that you've kind of seen this area, it's a phenomenal area. I would really encourage you to build it, or build down here, because there's literally everything you need is there. That's where you go, obviously. This is where you end up, but there's so many cool spots down in this zone, man. I can't even describe it to you. Anyways, if you don't mind giving a like, giving some subscription here, I will do what I can to keep pumping out these videos to help you out on this new map. All right, Teacher's Game 2, out.